Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sive Show. I am your host, Sive. Today we're going to be playing a game that I wasn't expecting to stream today, until I saw that it came out today. It's a game I've been kind of following for about a year and a half, I want to say. I saw it at one of the conventions, I think it was E3, not 100% sure on that one, but they had a trailer and they had like an exclusive beta at the time. Got into it. It seemed very, it had a cool concept, interesting looking characters, well, to me anyway, and it sounded like a fun idea to play. Played the beta. Like I said, it was very so-so. It was kind of clunky, but it had potential there. So I decided to just drop it, let it simmer for a while, and it released today randomly on Steam. So I naturally downloaded it, played a little bit of it, and I decided it is good enough to do an episode on now. I'm actually quite excited because it was really fun when I was messing around with it earlier. So today I will play a little bit of it for you. It's called Rise of Incarnates. It's not a normal American game. The genre is a weird, like, third-person fighter. It's a big genre that's in Japan a lot. You use like a stock system where each team has like 6 stocks, I think, in this game. But like I said, the genre is a big thing in Japan, so the stock varies from game to game. A lot of times Gundam games are actually made into this format, and basically how it works is each team has a stock. You select a character. The character's power is very, like, variable. Some characters are super powerful, some characters not very powerful. How they balance it, though, is the stock system. The weaker, does a lot of damage, doesn't have a lot of health characters are worth 1 stock. Then there's like a medium grade, which are worth 2 stock. And then there's the big heavy hitter, like super powered, like really fast, seems overpowered kind of guys, and they're worth 3 stock. And the reason why this works so well is because, sure, you're a weaker character. If you're really good at that character, you know, you die really easily and maybe even get one-shot by some of the bigger dudes' combos, but when you die, you still have 5 stocks left. On the other hand, if you end up killing them, that's 3 stocks, they're already at half health. But the way they've formatted it now, in the beta, it had 1v1s, 2v2s, 3v3s. As of now, I didn't like mess around too much of it. It looks like it's only 2v2s for now. They might add more in the future. Like I said, I haven't looked into it terribly until it just came out today. So we'll get into it. It's, like I said, I didn't finish explaining the genre, I apologize. It's similar to what you would expect a third-person fighting game to be. There's a lot of mechanics that are in fighting game. It's not as intense as something like BlazBlue or Street Fighter or something like that, but they do have stuff like dash cancels and like guard cancels and different various fighting game things. And you have a couple different options available. So, I'll go here. Also, another thing to note is this game, can you use the mouse and keyboard, or you can fully use just a controller. I'm going to use the controller just because it's easier in my opinion, because it's, like I said, it's like a fighting game, so it's easier to have that extra control. So, the precision of a mouse isn't as needed as it would be in, say, a shooter. So, we're just going to do a quick bot match, or actually, I'll just go to the training system for now. And the only reason I do this is just so I can give you guys just a heads up, kind of a mini tutorial, if you will, on how the game in general plays, just so you can see what's at your disposal if you decide to play. Another thing to note is this game is 100% free, and from what I've seen in the shop, the prices are fairly reasonable, and buying stuff without having to spend real money is pretty reasonable. Also, your first character is free, and the second one is half off, so even if you play for a little bit, you'll already get 3 of the, I think, 10 or 12 characters that are currently out. But you can get into that later. If you have any questions, by the way, feel free to talk in chat. I'll try my best to chat, just glance over it every once in a while and see what you guys are saying. So this here won't come up anytime. This is just because the tutorial has a few of the harder combos, I guess, that you can try that does some like dash canceling stuff and whatnot. You can also make your own combos, which is another reason why I like it, because in my fighting games, I like the idea of making my own combo. There's a couple different things here. The green bar on the bottom is your mobility bar. It lets you do stuff like I can do a jump here, or if I hold it down, this particular character gets this little drone that you can kind of like swivel around on, or you can double tap the jump to like keep grappling up in the air. It's pretty neat. There's a lot of different mobility stuff. You can also double tap it to dash. And this character, from what I hear, is probably like one of the faster characters in the game. So if you see me kind of zipping around, you're like, that seems OP compared to everyone else. It's because it's his thing. Also, you'll see the stock bars on the top left of the screen, Team A and Team B. The stock that each character is worth, if you're new to the game, if you just look at the life bars there, each life bar dictates how much stock that character uses. Your life is in the bottom left. I currently have 330. I'm a 1 stock character, just for reference in the future. And in the bottom right, you'll see an ammo system. In this game, you have your jump, which is A on the controller if you're using it. X is, whoops, didn't mean to do that tag combo. X is your ranged weapon, and you'll see there it like flashes in the corner. Or, 1 second. I just realized that the thing I'm talking about is covered up by my face. So let me move my camera here. Normally the bottom right corner is a perfect spot to put the camera, but alright, now you can all see the little ammo counter there, and it flashes and goes down whenever you use something of that variety. You have your ranged weapon, and then Y will be your melee attack, which, unless I'm hitting something, here, I'll run over here and hit this person. See, I can chain different combos together and do crazy stuff. It's pretty fun once you get used to it. It also has a similar system to Smash Brothers, if anyone has played it. You have your neutral melee, that's something that's not just neutral. But you have your neutral melee, and then a left side and a right side, and back and forward, and they all do different things and combo differently together. Some characters, I guess, just have completely different properties when they use those different attacks, which, just like in Smash Brothers, each character's smash attack has different properties. Also on the bottom left, you'll see that gold ring that's like flashing. Just because I'm in training mode, it's automatically always full. But each character also have what's called an awakening power, which you fill up that bar by getting your ass kicked, getting beat up, or by blocking attacks, or time blocking, which is kind of like a perfect guard if you've played other fighting games, where you time your guard just perfectly right when it's about to hit, and you can do a little counter. So your bar will fill up from that, and when you hit the right bumper on the controller, you'll do what's called awakening mode. Every character has something drastically different. What my guy does is it makes your entire team has your bar, like your mobility bar and stuff, deplete slower, and you can chain combos longer. Because as you'll notice as I'm hitting this guy, after I hit him for a while, there'll be an X around him, meaning that's the most amount of actions I can do on him in one combo before he gets a chance to get up, to prevent like infinite juggling and things like that. So, like I said, what my awakening does is it also makes that last longer, so I can combo people with my teammate a little bit better. So I could do all this other stuff, and he doesn't go into an invincibility mode till I do the combo finisher, which is really useful, especially as you can see, as you get more skillful at the game, you'll be able to make your own crazy chain combos. And keep in mind, since it is a team game, you can also do chain combos with your partner. They can set certain things up, like this computer will do it when that, like this is what I was telling you before, this weird thing. If they set them up and shoot them in the air using different abilities, it puts them in a vulnerable state, onto which if your partner is paying attention, you can either do a ranged, or if you're within distance, you can do a melee combo chain, which, you'll zip to them and do bonus damage and do this big fancy smanchy combo against them. So it encourages you and your teammate to kind of work together. Another thing to note is each character, the B button, has a third attack, which is a character-specific one. Like this character, actually, this is my favorite character so far. I've only tried out one. But, well, counting the other two that I played in the early beta, but they're probably way different. His special power is I'll grab onto them, and this little wheel appears. Depending on what button I press, I can temporarily disable the use of one of their attacks. So this guy, for example, he uses really good special attacks, so I can go on him and use my special to cancel his special. Then he cannot use whatever special I canceled until that debuff wears off. Another thing to note is, you saw I had this range here, and you're wondering, well, what are those other 3 ammunitions about? The The next one I'll go over is if you hold the right trigger and you hit either ranged or melee, you have a special attack that you can perform. For example, this guy shoots like a singular bullet that'll stun them for a brief moment. And his other one is a weird, like most people have a melee attack. He gets this invisibility. Everyone can still see you, but it makes it so they cannot lock onto you. So if they want to hit you, they have to be extremely precise to hit you with one of their attacks. And you can also use that to, like I said, in the middle of combos, how I said there's canceling and like tech canceling and dash canceling. You can do this and either the combo will finish and they'll fly back and, you know, there's a small delay, or if you get used to the game and you get better, you can do something like a dash or dash cancel, where you stop those frames of vulnerability and you can immediately move around. You can also use special abilities to do a similar thing. And I'm guessing a lot of you don't like get what dash canceling and all that is. That's fighting game terms, but it's essentially you cancel like a vulnerable or down state, like you've seen in games where people will do a move and they'll do like some animations like, yeah, I'm cool, or just something like that to give a vulnerable opening. You can use different types of cancels to minimize or completely escape out of those animations so you can continue doing a combo. And I guess as far as tutorial goes, that's all you really need to know. There's also, you know, you see the radar in the top right because it is a third-person action. You know, there's a large map that you can explore, and sometimes there's buildings and stuff in the way. That'll just give you a good, quick view of where people are located at any given time. So I'm going to end this tutorial, and I will then play an actual game against computers. I'll even play a couple characters that I'm not sure of, just so you guys can get a general mix of people that might be in the game. And then I'll end off with a couple actual matches against real people. And I'll probably lose, let's be real. But, alright. And these are the different characters currently in the game. They plan on adding more, obviously. There's this Lilith lady, I played her in the beta. Her special character specific is she can transform into this weird butterfly thing that you can see in the background. And she uses double pistols. She's a heavy ranged character. She's a stock one, as you can see from that little thing right there. This is the guy you just saw. He's like a ninja guy. I kind of like him because he's neat and looks like a ninja, and I just like the way he plays. This is another one of the, this is a recommended character. It was another one of the beta guys. He also transforms into a weird demon thing, and he has a gun blade, which is like a pistol with like a blade that comes out of the handle. It's interesting. A lot of people call this guy Evil Wily because he looks like Wily from Mega Man, except evil. He uses a scythe. I really like him, but I don't like him because his fighting style is not something I like, but I like his visual design, mainly because I'm a sucker for scythes. The rest of these characters, I have no idea what they do. I've seen this character. She like rides this weird bike all over the place. This guy uses a bow. This guy looks like he's carrying a hot dog. Yeah. Like I said, more than half of these characters I haven't played, so I won't have too much to say about them. There's this lady. She has weird, like, things that follow her around. This guy has a big-ass gun. This guy turns into a tank. This guy has this weird, like, option things, if you know what those are, from, like, Galaga or Gradius, I think it is. And they just float around him and, like, modify his attacks in different ways. This guy's weird. I don't like his design at all visually. He has this, if any of you have watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's essentially like a stand. Also, I'm sorry, I forgot to check the chat. Let's see. Alright. Got some sweet people in here. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Alright. Sounds like a plan. Someone wants to play with me? I didn't know other people were playing, but I'll be more than happy to team up with someone in chat. So, let's see, I'll just start with this normal guy. And I'll do, like I said, a couple bot matches, and then I'll hop on actual people. Also, this skill grid here you'll see, I'll go over this after I do a few matches. It's essentially, if you've played League of Legends, it's like a mastery tree or, like, runes. They give you small little buffs depending on how you organize them in this little grid. And as far as I know, it's all in-game currency only that you can buy those for and recharge them, which is a good thing because there's no pay-to-win aspect, which, as I said before, the payment model for this game is actually something I wholesomely agree with. Most of the stuff you spend real money on is just skins and things like that. so far. Like I said, the game just came out today, so there's no telling what